Good morning. My name is Stewart Moore, and it is my pleasure to serve as your host and master of ceremonies for the 14th annual Breakfast of Champions, benefiting the Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association. I am delighted to join you for a second year, this year in celebration of the Legal Aid Society's 60th birthday, and to ensure the organization's continued ability to provide quality legal services for 60 more years. I've been a proud member of the Central Florida community since 2011 when I joined West 2 News. In my time here, Legal Aid has remained a constant, reliable force for our neighbors who are in need. We have almost closed the door on 2021, and no one would have believed it was even more eventful than 2020. We continued to contend with a health pandemic, a housing crisis, economic instability, climate change, and a few disagreements and perspectives along the way. That's to say it lightly. Still, the Legal Aid Society remained open, ready for business, and in full service to assert equal justice for all. It took every ounce of community support to deliver the unmatched quality legal services the Legal Aid Society is known for providing. And we look to you again to continue this uniquely philanthropic tradition our community provides. This year alone, Legal Aid curtailed thousands of wrongful evictions, delivered a path of safety for survivors of domestic violence, and created forever families for hundreds of deserving foster children, and removed barriers to unemployment for those eager to provide for their families. There's no better way to truly understand the enormity of Legal Aid's impact than to hear directly from the organization's finest, its clients and supporters. Joining us now this morning is Deborah Moskowitz, the president of the Legal Aid Society Board of Trustees and partner of Quinterios, Prieto, Wood, and Boyer, PA, also known as QPWB. Take it away, Deborah.
Thank you, Stewart, for that kind introduction. Welcome, everyone, to the 14th Annual Breakfast of Champions to support the Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association. 2021 marks 60 years of service to this great community. The Legal Aid Society has been there for hundreds of thousands of residents of Orange County, old, young alike, whether it's a child needing a guardian ad litem, whether it's an elderly person needing assistance with their benefits, whether it's a veteran needing assistance with their benefits, whether it's something related to the COVID-19 pandemic that we've all been dealing with, human trafficking, the Pulse tragedy, you name it, Legal Aid has been there and will continue to be there for the citizens of Orange County. Please join me in donating your time, your funds, and support of this great organization. Please also join me in welcoming a true servant leader this morning, Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings.
Hello, I'm Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings. It is my pleasure to join you for the 14th Annual Breakfast of Champions fundraising event hosted by the Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association, Incorporated. This year's event is also an opportunity to celebrate the Legal Aid Society's 60th anniversary. Since 1961, the Legal Aid Society has represented vulnerable and disadvantaged residents by providing free, quality legal services on issues affecting our community's quality of life and civil rights. The Legal Aid Society has always been a great partner with Orange County government, especially this past year, as you quickly stepped up and collaborated with the county's eviction diversion program. Through your assistance, the program helped over 3,700 tenants and landlords impacted by COVID-19. We look forward to continuing our partnership by providing residents with foreclosure advice, counseling, and representation, as well as foreclosure and consumer education for both landlords and tenants. Thank you for your ongoing support, advocacy, and quality legal services to those in need. It is with great pleasure that I proclaim November the 14th to November the 20th as Legal Aid Society Week in Orange County, Florida, to mark this significant milestone and raise awareness about the tremendous work of the organization. And the proclamation reads, whereas the Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association is a private, not-for-profit law firm founded in 1961 in Orlando, Florida, by volunteer attorneys, judges, support staff, and community members who recognize the need to provide civil legal justice to all. And whereas the Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association is celebrating the contributions of those who built this great organization through their dedication to this community and the perseverance of their resilient clients. And whereas the Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association has proven experience providing quality legal services to the community, including injunctions for protection, consumer protection, tax assistance, housing relief, and child abuse abandonment and neglect protection. And whereas the Orange County community has supported the efforts of the Legal Aid Society in providing access to justice for the indigent, vulnerable, disenfranchised, elderly, military, veterans, and neighbors. And whereas the residents of Orange County, Florida, represents a diverse and unique community deserving of safety, stability, and independence. And whereas the Legal Aid Society continues its mission established 60 years ago to provide free, quality legal services for low-income residents and groups with special legal needs in Orange County, Florida. Now, therefore, I, Jerry L. Demings, by virtue of the authority vested in me as Orange County Mayor, do hereby proclaim November 14th through the 20th, 2021, as Legal Aid Society Week in Orange County, Florida, and honor and commend them for their long history of service. Congratulations. I wish you all the best during this momentous occasion.
Thank you, Mayor Demings, for those important words. Now it is my pleasure to share with you our 2021 Breakfast of Champions message, the Domino Effect.
He physically, mentally, and abused me, sexually abused me. Everything that you can possibly think of, he did to me.
I had 3 small children, and I was a newly single parent through divorce, and there I was without transportation.
When you know what these kids have gone through, and majority of them have gone through some form of neglect or abandonment, abuse, physical, sexual, emotional, all of the above.
After my 20 years in the military, I spent some time at rehab. So my bills accumulate because I got no jobs, I got nothing. So one of them sent me a letter to court. I'll see you in court in December.
Alex absolutely came from a background of drugs in both her biological mom and dad. Alex had an older sister, and there was some human trafficking involved with the older sister, and I think Alex probably would have gone down that route as well.
I finally opened up to somebody after 2-3 years of being in that pain, and that's really what helped me. Really just opening up and telling the story, and that person really invested in me going that step further.
When something happens to residents of our community and they come to our doors, we know it is because the very worst has happened and they are trying to prevent certain disaster, or certain disaster has already happened and there is no one else around in their support system, in their professional system, if there is one, who's able to help. No one goes to sleep and dreams about being poor. No one wakes up and says, I want to be poor today. I want to have no resources. I want to be impoverished. I don't want to have a network. I don't want to have a community. But every single person who comes through the doors of the Legal Aid Society finds themselves in that situation, not because that's where they choose to be, but that's because it's where they are. And we're the organization that says, it doesn't matter what your income is. You deserve to be able to protect yourself, to protect your family, to be a contributing member of this community, and we're the people who can help you do it.
Everybody needs to have that ability to, have somebody represent their legal needs, or have their day in court, as the saying goes, regardless of socioeconomic status, regardless of ethnicity or sexual orientation. All these people need to have the same level of access. The court has to have that sort of blind justice in that sense, to where regardless of who the plaintiff is, or the client, or the defendant, or whatever the case is, that person has that same fair shot, that same right to due process as the next person.
One of the greatest challenges we faced with COVID was access to services. So right at the beginning, everything closed. Therapy paused, tutoring, mentors, all these social supports and community supports that these children had. And you know, when school being out, a lot of those kids, that's where they eat. So it was really challenging in the beginning. I think definitely lots of adaptation that we had to do, but we're doing it.
Serving as a guardian ad litem added a very personal component with the kids that I got. I did not expect to develop personal relationships or be so close with the children that I ultimately came to represent. And I learned so much throughout the process. I really thought that I would just be, you know, going to court, reading a file, saying a couple of words, maybe talking to the children on the phone here and there, but there's so much more that goes into it. Visiting the children, getting to know them, what they want, what they don't want, what they like, what they don't like. It ultimately became something very personal and something I really felt passionate about.
It's so critically important for these children. You know, none of us get to pick who our parents are or what happens when we're little, but to have that stable person that they can turn to, even if they just want a sounding board on what they should be doing next, you know, is critical.
We call them forever families. The feeling is indescribable. It lasts a lifetime. I feel that all my training and all my education has gone towards something that's so beautiful and everlasting. And again, it can't even be measured with dollars. When you seal together a forever family, you give a child an adoptive home and you extract that child out of an unsafe environment. That is the most precious reward an attorney can ever have in their legal career.
It was really, really important to just have someone walk me down the path, not just the legalities of it, but just understanding the foster system, because there are so many loopholes, and when you go into it blindly, and I say blindly, and I use that term loosely because you go through classes and they prep you and they teach you things and they paint a picture of what possible scenarios look like for you. I always say my legal aid person was a blessing for me, 100% a blessing. And now I'm a mom. Yeah. And now I'm a mom.
It's more than just a legal case, right? Because you are going to completely change their lives for the better. And even though in that moment, they're in a very desperate situation, I know that if they have a good case, that there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Without the help of legal aid, I would not have been able to maintain the employment that allowed me to support my children. It allowed me to further my career. It allowed me to do the things I'm doing today, and also for my children, their health and well-being. And it allowed me to give back to the community.
I understood his background and where he was coming from, being in the military, and having that background myself. I knew he needed to feel me out and see what kind of guy I was before he was going to trust me to handle his situation. So as I would have in the military, I gave it to him like it is, and then said, now that you know that, let's go see what kind of deal we can make. That's the reward at the end of the day. It's not about money, it's not about prestige, it's about making a difference in somebody's life.
After my 20 years in the military, trusting somebody, like I trust Jay and he take care of me, it's kind of hard for me to trust anybody. He's a very good man. Very good man. It's like one of my buddies in the military. I can turn my 6, which is my back, and I know I can trust him. He won't do no harm. He gonna help me out.
This organization exists because the community and the people who support it say, people are important. Doing what's right matters. Being there for people who need you matters. We are not a legal services corporation. We are not guaranteed funds from the federal government. We find those dollars, we source those dollars, and we make a decision that we are going to individually find every cent that takes to make the organization run, because it is incredibly important to the attorneys of Orange County, the citizens of Orange County, and the clients we serve that we be able to do the work that the community needs. If you believe that people have a right to survive, if you believe children have a right to safety, if you believe people have a right to not face physical and certain danger on a daily basis, then choosing to support the Legal Aid Society will help you achieve all of those missions.
You get to feel like you're someone's hero because you made a difference in their lives, or you allowed me to do my job and make a difference in their lives. And we welcome both. Come along and take a case beside me, or, help us keep the lights on at Legal Aid so that we can keep fighting the good fight.
Well, I'd say if they won't take the 2 cases, which we would love, certainly the checkbook and writing that check out to the Legal Aid Society, it really helps staff get the folks in there that we have on a full-time basis that can help these children, get them through the system, and hopefully provide that happy ending for them.
The children are our future. We have a responsibility to protect them and to help them heal, because they're going to be taking care of us in the long run. So, unfortunately, prevention doesn't always work, and we have to concentrate our resources into intervention, and that's what we're doing.
These children are a worthy cause. They did not ask to be in this system, but somehow, some way, they ended up here. We spend money on a myriad of things. This is something that's worth opening your checkbook up and definitely donating.
Write a check, save countless lives. It's the domino effect. It is perpetual goodness. You help one person, you're helping that person's children, that person's parents, that person's loved ones, that person's community, other taxpayers, people they encounter, people they don't encounter. It's continuous. It's never ending.
Wow. The work that Legal Aid performs directly impacts our community. Legal Aid can lend a hand in our neighborhoods because of the generosity of supporters like David Paul and the Paul Knopf Bigger firm that was with his belief that we are better together. PKB immediately donated $15,000 to Legal Aid and challenges fellow professional organizations who care about the welfare of this community to match or surpass their lead. Legal Aid Society thanks Paul Knopf Bigger for their lead gift. For the second year in a row, the Joe and Sarah Galloway Foundation also graciously stands as a champion sponsor, donating $10,000. This foundation has steadfastly sponsored and donated to the BOC since its early days, and for that, we are thankful. The Joe and Sarah Galloway Foundation serves as a legacy to its namesake, Joe and Sarah Galloway. The trustees of the foundation are honored to carry on the Galloways' commitment to public service by making grants to qualified public charities across Central Florida. The Legal Aid Society values the Joe and Sarah Galloway Foundation and is honored to be a beneficiary. We're also proud to announce our 2 newest champion $10,000 sponsors, Total Health Guidance and Jedediah A. Main Esquire, the Main Law Firm. Total Health Guidance is not only Central Florida's most affordable counseling center, but they also donate 10% of their profits back to Legal Aid for every attorney referral using their services. Along with mental health counseling, marriage and family therapy, and addiction treatment, Total Health Guidance also provides services to the legal community, including evaluations for mental health, substance abuse, immigration, and more. Total Health Guidance serves clients of all ages in multiple languages. Legal Aid is thankful for the support of Total Health Guidance. And also our 3rd champion, a $10,000 champion sponsor, is Jedediah Jed E. Main Esquire and the Main Law Firm. Main Law is a personal injury firm that maintains vibrant locations in Apopka, Claremont, Lake Mary, Mount Dora, and Winter Park, providing legal services throughout the state of Florida. The generosity of Jed Main and the Main Law Firm, Total Health Guidance, Joe and Sarah Galloway Foundation, and our lead sponsor, the Paul Knopf Bigger Firm, make access to justice a reality for our community. Easy for me to say about that huge contributions they're making. You are true legal aid champions who lead by the example. We know that last year and this year, COVID-19 impacted so many parts of our community, necessitating enhanced legal services in every area the Legal Aid Society provides. What legal aid needs now are more attorneys to perform legal work, teach our volunteer attorneys how to provide quality emergency pro bono services, and advocate for amendments to law so the justice system works for everyone. This all costs money. Let's take a few minutes and hear some good news. I wonder if Eric and Baxter are around.
Thanks, Stewart. Yes, we are here. I am Eric Reed, and this is Baxter, my trusty sidekick. We are back and ready to celebrate Legal Aid Society's 60th birthday and are here to bring some good news, Legal Aid Society Edition, Part 2. We can all certainly use some good news. It seems like just yesterday that we met for the Breakfast of Champions in our pajamas, which included various distractions that some of my younger colleagues dealt with. A 3-year-old wanting another Peppa the Pig show. But we have come a long way. Supply chain issues don't scare us anymore. Guess who has a whole bulk of toilet paper and it owns his own IKEA home office? This guy. A year later, we are still in masks. We still undergo temperature checks. And we still know that Gary Salzman does not know the meaning of the phrase, mute yourself. After all, not muting yourself is the new reply all. However, we can all celebrate how much more familiar we are with technology and the lingo thanks to our kids. Here are some of the words that they have taught us. GOAT. This stands for greatest of all time. For instance, you've been on 7 straight hours of Zoom meetings and you are done smiling. But our very own Brandon Sapp is still ear to ear smile. Brandon is the GOAT of happiness. SK. This is apparently a way of expressing yourself. I really had to Google what it meant. For instance, it took 8 months, but Rafael Rodriguez got rid of that beautiful man bun. SK. Salty. This means bitter or angry. Used in a sentence, everyone's a little salty we didn't have the meeting at Applebee's for Margarita Monday, just like Christopher Kest suggested. Gucci. This means cool or wonderful. For instance, Bill Davis will never be able to use the slang meaning of the word Gucci in a sentence correctly. Chuggy. This is a new word for me. This means passé, so 10 minutes ago. For instance, Judge Barbara Leach wouldn't dare be caught with a chuggy chevron patterned collared shirt under her robe. It's straight pearls for her. That's enough for Baxter and me right now. Let me kick this back out for personal messages from some of our surprise visitors.
This is Ana V. Escamani, the State House Representative for District 47 in the Florida Legislature. And I am so proud to support the Legal Aid Society because I know how important access to justice is. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, we have been supporting Floridians through getting their unemployment benefits and through eviction proceedings and doing whatever we can to make sure that Floridians know their rights. Access to legal aid has been key to keeping folks housed, to helping negotiate mediations with landlords, to benefit from eviction diversion programs, and to try to keep people in some sense of housing security as they navigate this very difficult time. Grateful for Legal Aid Society and proud to support you all in everything that you do, and know that working together we can build a more equitable and just state for all.
Hello, I am Congresswoman Val Demings, representing Florida's 10th Congressional District, and it is my honor to congratulate the Legal Aid Society of Orange County for 60 years of service to our community. We live in a great nation, and our nation lives up to its promise every time the words justice for all are fulfilled. I am grateful to the Legal Aid Society for your unwavering commitment to answering the call by ensuring that every person, regardless of who they are, where they live, or their financial status, has legal representation. Justice for all. Thank you, Legal Aid Society of Orange County.
Hello, I'm Mike Tanner, president of the Florida Bar, and I want to congratulate the Legal Aid Society of Orange County for 60 years of serving the unrepresented and low-income individuals in our state. I received my first introduction to legal aid many years ago, early in my career, when I would go after work to volunteer at the intake at Jacksonville Legal Aid Society. And I saw firsthand the needs of low-income people and the gratitude and relief that they expressed when they would qualify to come into our system for assistance. And as we come out of the pandemic, the need for legal aid assistance for low-income citizens will become even more acute. And so I encourage all of you to donate your time, your resources to legal aid. Thank you very much. And Legal Aid Society of Orange County, here's to another 60 years of helping our low-income individuals.
Hello, I'm Charles Kennedy, Chief Justice of the Florida Supreme Court. I'm pleased to join in recognizing the 60th anniversary of the Legal Aid Society of Orange County and to commend its work to expand access to justice for low-income Floridians. The Legal Aid Society provides a structure for carrying out that important mission. I salute all the members of the Orange County Bar Association who undertake this important work in the cause of justice. Congratulations on this milestone for the Legal Aid Society of Orange County. Thank you for your work and best wishes for your continued success.
Legal Aid does more with its donations than anyone would think possible. Your gift today can unite a frightened, abused child with a forever family, arm a survivor of domestic violence with the safety of a protective injunction, shield elderly residents susceptible of predatory consumer fraud, and especially this year, provide around-the-clock housing representation to reduce the soul-crushing possibility of homelessness resulting from eviction and foreclosure. The Legal Aid's accomplishments are because of your contributions. Like our successes, our needs are vast too. Our community's mounting immediate needs include housing law due to an enormous number of Orange County residents being evicted or foreclosed upon, family law due to an increase in domestic violence resulting from economic contraction, consumer law due to an increase in stolen identity and credit fraud, dependency law as kids experience abuse or abandonment and neglect because of social stressors, immigration law with human trafficking cases up as predators seek to capitalize on the most vulnerable during times of emergency. Legal Aid can help more people in these areas because of your financial support. In addition to quality legal services, Legal Aid provides several supportive tools that enhance life for its clients, including bikes to foster youth and other low-income children in our community. Arriving at the Legal Aid Society as a volunteer in 2015, Kathleen Downs and Robert Half International saw firsthand the social and economic disparities that foster children face. Kathy recognized the benefit a bicycle could bring to her foster child who lacked those carefree memories most children are lucky enough to have. What began as Kathy gifting her foster child a bike, the ultimate symbol of childhood, grew into what is today a vibrant program providing new and gently used bicycles to any child in Orange County foster care who wants or needs one. The original vision grew from giving out bikes to foster kids one at a time to holding 2 annual large-scale giveaways with Orange County Public Schools as a partner recipient to this legal aid endeavor. Kathy, affectionately known as the Bike Fairy, makes dreams come true. Kathy and her dedication are just another example of how the Legal Aid Society brings value and dignity to all clients. And with your support, you're part of that magic as well. So how about more of Eric and Baxter with some more good news?
Thanks, Stewart. My old buddy Baxter here is a changed man. He saw some things on Zoom in 2021 he cannot unsee. He asked me to give you some tips that might help all of us. Work tip number 1, Baxter shares that like wearing white after Labor Day, having your pets present on a Zoom call is no longer a no-no. It's way better to be known as a lady with Fido in the background than the lady who forgot to turn off her camera. Work tip number 2, don't make COVID jokes, including why did the chicken cross the road? Because the chicken behind it did not know how to properly socially distance. Work tip number 3, resist the urge to bring Chipotle's buy one, get one gallon of queso dip for your next in-person office function. This will only turn into a super spreader event. Last year, Baxter and I reminded you that Zoom continues to allow people to embarrass themselves in ways they could never imagine. Nothing has changed in that department, except that those embarrassing moments are now forever captured in the cloud and will resurface one day. If there's one thing that our pandemic continues to prove, it's that humans will find a way to make social interaction uncomfortable, even when social interaction is limited. Speaking of social interactions that are uncomfortable, sometimes people are uncomfortable asking for donations. Not the case with Legal Aid Society's Development Director, Donna Haynes. Her stated goal is, touch your heart and open your wallet. Don't worry, she will keep asking and asking. She can't help it. Legal aid is too important. It is also important to me. In addition to my firm donating, I personally donate both my time and money. It's too important not to. One of my first legal aid cases was representing a child who was abandoned by her parents. Attorneys know that things are not always as they seem. I knew my JEL child, Shantia, needed something entirely different than what the other parties recommended. My advocacy allowed Shantia to live the life she and I know she could. Today, Shantia is a professional working at a major medical group and is close to graduating with a degree that will place her on a management track. She is a homeowner who enjoys spoiling her 2 children. My good news is that regardless of what type of law you practice, what you do for a living, what language you speak, or what you have done until this point, your involvement with Legal Aid Society will make both you and your community stronger. Irrespective of how you support our nonprofit, we want you to know our success is your success. Consider making a monthly donation, donating over several years, or consider making a donation that is half of your monthly Starbucks bill. Use the donation link, mail a check, heck, bring wads of cash into the Legal Aid Society office. Whatever you donate, it will change lives. This is Eric and Baxter Reed with some good news. BOC Pandemic Edition Part 2 signing off, and remember, there will always be good in the world. Over to you, Stewart.
No one was exposed to COVID-19, and no animals were injured during the 14th Annual Breakfast of Champions. Eric's children are still mortified. Even Baxter is shaking his head.
Well, everyone, I enjoyed sharing my morning with you to highlight the successes that our Legal Aid Society provides for all of us. Because of you, closing out my second year as host, I am so proud to live, work, and raise my family in Central Florida. And I hope I pronounced those names right as well. Orange County remains a destination for the world, offering diversity, excitement, and economic prosperity. We still appreciate a good football Saturday. Go Noles, as always. And we're still the envy of our northern friends who have to brave those icy winters. With your support, the Legal Aid Society's doors will remain open to ensure access to justice for all and keep Orange County the desirable home we all love. On behalf of the Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association clients, staff, and Board of Trustees, I am Stewart Moore, wishing you the very best going into this holiday season, and have a wonderful new year. Thank you once again for having me.
Hi, I'm Marie Prevey. I am the Guardian Ad Litem Director of Special Programs. Growing up, I always wanted to help. I'd find the kid in class that no one wanted to talk to and start a conversation. I always wanted to be the person people could open up to and talk to and feel comfortable around. I really took pride in that. So now as an adult, I still get to do that. I get to help kids. I get to represent the children in our community that are by far the most vulnerable. So when someone asks me what motivates me, it's a really easy question to answer. And the answer is, without a doubt, they do. They are incredible, they are resilient, and the idea that a single relationship could turn into something bigger and better for them, I consider it a privilege to be a part of. And I also work with an amazing team at Legal Aid that makes it all the more rewarding.
My name is Camilla Taylor, and I am the Volunteer Advocate for Children, otherwise known as VAC Coordinator with Legal Aid Society. What motivates me and keeps me going is the direct impact legal aid has on children in the dependency system. I am motivated by the positive transformation that I see in grades, behavior, and overall demeanor by the close of most cases. As someone that was raised by her grandmother, I can empathize with children that are raised by relatives and loved ones and understand it does often take a village to care for children. Knowing that I'm a part of that village for so many children motivates me and allows me to be the best kind of advocate that I can be. In addition to that, just being a part of a professional network that has withstood the test of times for 60 years is also a reminder that the fight for justice never ends and there is always work to be done. So overall, in a nutshell, what motivates me and keeps me going are the children that serve as constant reminders that I truly am making a difference.
Hello, my name is Michelle Erasmus, and I'm a legal assistant with the Guardian Ad Litem program. I've been working for Legal Aid of Orange County for just about 15 years now. What keeps me motivated is seeing all the lives that we help change, all the children who get a second chance at life. It is such a blessing to be a blessing to others and to show them that there are still people out there that care. What keeps me going every day is working with such an amazing team. Everyone here at Legal Aid truly cares for the clients and for each other. My colleagues are more than coworkers. They are my family, they are my friends. I am so proud to say that I work for the Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association. What motivates me and keeps me going is knowing that I am part of a team that is truly making a difference.
My name is Camilo Parra. I'm a staff attorney here at the Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association. The first time I came to Orlando, I was only 3 years old on vacation from Colombia with my family. On the last day of my vacation, my parents decided we're staying. That set in motion a life of appreciating America and the American dream and growing to love Florida and all of its residents. I went to law school in the hopes of giving back to my community. I was fortunate enough to, throughout all of law school and immediately thereafter, spend time directly with the most vulnerable parts of my community. I would visit homeless shelters, rehab facilities, mental health centers, and other resource centers where largely the homeless were already at. What I used to do is I would help them get on public benefits to hopefully help them break the cycle of homelessness. Today, I am besides myself with the honor and the joy to be a housing attorney at the Legal Aid Society, where I can step in a step sooner in that cycle of homelessness and hopefully provide housing, financial, and all other forms of stability to a very vulnerable and important community that I've grown to love. And that's really what keeps me motivated, is the love of my community.
Hi, my name is Tanisha Hall. I'm the litigation attorney at the Legal Aid Society of Orange County Bar Association. I also primarily practice in family law. And what motivates me is helping people. I've always had a desire to help. I grew up in a family of ministers and teachers, so it's ingrained through and through that for the least of us, we need to help. And so I pride myself in being able to empower people and provide holistic legal representation and to increase the access to justice across our client population. And that keeps me going too. I mean, especially in times now with the pandemic, when we're having more utility shutoffs, lockouts, more domestic violence injunctions, increased dangers to our client population. Whatever we can do to help, I'm doing my best to make sure that we can do it and that our team does it as well.
My name is Judy Foltz, and I'm an executive assistant in the pro bono department. When I was a young mother, several issues arose in our family. They all required legal attention, but I was poor and I couldn't afford an attorney, and I couldn't even afford legal advice. I was lost and I felt like I didn't have a voice, and I was totally helpless. So I promised myself that one day I would help people that felt like I did to be able to figure out what their options were. Working at the Legal Aid Society has given me that opportunity to keep my promise.
Hello, my name is Carmen Quiñones, and I have been working for the Legal Aid Society of the Orange County Bar Association, Inc. since June 6 of 2019. I work as an intake assistant and volunteer coordinator. What keeps me going and motivates me is knowing that I'm doing my part helping the Spanish-speaking community. Legal Aid provides free interpreters to all our clients in multiple languages. Many times I have heard clients say that they do not understand what is happening because they do not understand English. In some cases, they are in situations where they have been taken advantage of or have signed legal documents which they did not understand because they felt intimidated. I can experience their relief when someone can speak their language, especially in family matters with domestic violence situations that can be very emotional and hard for them to express what is happening. Being the client's first contact, sometimes just listening to them, taking their application, or even referring them to some place that can help them is what keeps me motivated and grateful for working at the Legal Aid Society.
Hello, my name is Ronnie Syme and I am the Director of Legal Services for the Guardian Ad Litem program. What motivates me and keeps me going? I went to law school because I knew that I wanted to be able to do something to make children's lives better. I know how lucky I was to grow up in a wonderful and supportive family. I saw every day how my mother worked tirelessly as a teacher in an inner-city school in Philadelphia. I saw the impact that she was able to have on those children by being someone that they were able to trust and depend on. Working in the dependency system is not always easy, but seeing that my efforts can have a positive impact on a child is what motivates me. Being able to talk to and connect with a child who has gone through such adversity in their young life and know that I am able to help change the path that they are on by advocating for them in court. Knowing that I am able to help that family become better and more stable, or helping a child find their forever family and ultimately adopt it. Watching a child be able to overcome such hardship, to graduate high school and go on to college, and know that I had a small part in making this world and their lives just a little bit better. That's what motivates me and makes me want to keep fighting every day.